What's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Focus Live here for NFL Week 1. Ryan Levy here with my boy Bucky. We are going to dive into our DFS picks for the rivalry game in the NFC North. We got the Vikes Packers. How you doing, Bucky?
Yeah, this reminds me of a film, a Paul Thomas Anderson joint. There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah, there will be blood, Bucky. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we'll get milkshakes after.
Oh, I love a good milkshake, as long as it's not the bad kind, right?
Well, I'll drink your milkshake.
Fresh off a extension this morning. We're recording here on Saturday morning, just before kickoff tomorrow. Dalvin Cook signs a 5-year, $63 million extension, $28 million guaranteed. So glad to see him get a deal. A lot of these running backs that were on their rookie deals ended up getting new contracts. So you love to see that in the NFL. So you can rest easy tonight on Saturday night if you've got Dalvin as your first round draft pick and you're firing him in those fantasy lineups for week 1. But I'm eager to talk about what he can do in the DFS world in week 1.
I think he's going to be doing just fine out there. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm a big Dalvin guy, Florida State guy. So
it's his show now. I mean, Stephon Diggs leaving, it really doesn't even really factor in when I look at the way that they replace him with Jefferson, who I think is a hell of a prospect. I think he's going to fill in those shoes just fine. I think it'll be the same old Vikings scheme, and I think that Dalvin's going to be just the ultimate touch guy for this squad. I mean, when they're at their best, everything's operating through number 33, and I think it'll be the same thing this year. So especially in this game too, I think this is going to be a little bit lower end in terms of just the shootout nature that some of these NFL games turn into. So I look for this to be, let's say, 24-17, 24-20, something in there, and not so much like a bloodbath where both teams are putting up over 28 points.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. I think there's going to be a lot of ground and pound in this game. I mean, you look back at week 2, Aaron Jones and Dalvin both went over 100 yards. And then I believe it was in week 16, Dalvin was injured, but Aaron Jones, that was fantasy championship week. I think it was Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. And Aaron Jones took home several championships for me. He had 154 yards on the ground, I believe, and a few touchdowns. So
define several.
I think he had 3 touchdowns. Oh, you mean championships for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think on that last run alone, Aaron Jones sealed 3 championships for me last year.
And how many championships did you win as a whole? I'm looking to make a point here.
I believe it was 5 or 6.
Okay. So that goes to show that one player can drive victory across the board. It just, all it takes is lightning in a bottle. And that's what you have with Aaron Jones last year with the touchdown count. He's going to regress. I think there's no doubt that you're not going to hit 19 touchdowns every year.
Right. Yeah.
But he's still great. And I think the more that the Packers get away from the McCarthy era, the more they'll kind of blend into just a really well-balanced offense. And I think that when you factor in Aaron Jones' success, especially near the goal line, he will get double-digit touchdowns. But fantasy perspective, I'm going to just pump the brakes a tiny bit on expectations and just look, he's a top 10 running back, in my opinion. I think he'll finish there.
Yeah, I do too. It's just for fantasy drafts, I actually didn't get a lot of shares of him this year. And it had nothing to do with my belief in his regression. I just, for whatever reason, in the second round, I was more likely, you know, if you were picking at the latter half of the first round, I was more likely to grab a guy like Joe Mixon or something on the way back, or Chubb, rather than Aaron Jones or even Eckler I was grabbing. But I think where you drafted him in most cases in the second round, I think he'll return on that value for sure.
I completely agree. Let's get in this matchup here.
All right, let's do it. So if you've never played on Monkey Knife Fight before, that is where we're going to be putting most of our DFS plays for the 2020 NFL season. It's a lot different than FanDuel or DraftKings. I personally like it better because you're not playing against all the experts out there. You're essentially playing against the house, and it's more player prop focused. So you're not building an entire lineup. For example, you can go 2 out of 2 and get 3x your buy-in, which is pretty good. You know, you buy in $10, you win 30. So if you're into the quarterback the quarterbacks this week. I'm going to stay away from this contest. I just want to show it, though, as an example here. So they've got Aaron Rodgers set at 260.5 passing yards and Captain Kirk at 250.5. I do want to note that neither of these guys in both their matchups last year hit this number. So naturally, I would like to fade this. But I'm not going to play it. So I do just want to point that out. But rapid fire, Bucky and I love the rapid fire. Again, if you've never played on Monkey Knife Fight, it's just basically you got to get 3 out of 3 here, and you're going to win 5x your buy-in. So in the first matchup, we've got Rodgers versus Cousins in passing yards. Captain Kirk has plus 10.5 passing yards. What do you think about that, Bucky?
I'm going to lean towards Captain Kirk getting the extra yardage here.
Yeah, I see. I feel like the Packers are going to win this game, so I could see Captain Kirk, getting some garbage time yards here. I'm with you there. I like 10.5 yards. It's a good number here. What do you think about? Go ahead.
No, I mean, I just figure that I also have the Packers winning this ball game. So then inherently, I think Kirk Cousins playing from behind, that's usually where he's picking up his stacks. And 10.5 yards when they're both within 10.5 yards of each other based on, whatever algorithm we're setting these lines at. I just figure this will be a pretty tight game. And Kirk Cousins, 10.5 extra yards, I'll take it. It's not a lot, though.
Yeah, 10.5 is not huge. Actually, the Packers are underdogs in this game. I know the game is in Minnesota, I believe.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's like I've been to the Minnesota stadium twice. It's awesome. It's amazing. Normally they have a big home field advantage, in my opinion. It's loud as hell in there. But
is it?
Naturally, I don't think there's going to be any fans in Minnesota. I'm not sure which stadiums are allowing limited fans and which aren't. But either way, I don't feel like home field advantage is a thing anymore.
Well, I would say indoor stadiums you can pretty much rule out, right? Which is kind of just, golly, you think about it, it's just a pain in the ass. You build like Mercedes-Benz stadium down there in Atlanta, and then you also have this indoor stadium. I know Mercedes-Benz, I think, is indoor-outdoor. It's got that like little suction, little pop-a top on top of that thing that just spins. Perplexing, really. It's like watching a Chris Nolan movie. But then I know that the one in Minnesota, though, is definitely indoor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think indoor facilities will allow fans.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good point. All right. So let's move on to the receiving matchup here. We've got Adam Thielen getting plus 1.5 receptions in comparison to Devontae Adams. I'm actually going to lean Thielen here.
I will as well. This is going to be old safety blanket Kirk here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is another guy, not to dive too deep into season-long fantasy right now. We'll do that tomorrow morning. So if you haven't joined us last year, we'll be live at 10:30 Eastern for 90 minutes tomorrow to answer your lineup questions. But Adam Thielen, I got a lot of shares of him this year. I feel like people are way down on him. I still see him as a top 10 PPR receiver.
I don't see him that high, but I think he's going to figure into the top 20.
Okay, fair enough. And this is a tough one. I think this is probably the toughest matchup of the three here. Aaron Jones versus Dalvin Cook. Dalvin is an 11.5 yard favorite over Aaron Jones.
I'm going to go Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean, 11.5 yards. I think both these guys go over 100 again. So if you want to play a player prop where you're just picking more or less on Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook, I'm sure that's offered. I would go more on both of them. So I will agree with you there on Aaron Jones. So $10 wins you, what is that? $50. So I like that. All right, so let's go on to a touchdown dance here, shall we? So if you've never played on Monkey Knife Fight or if you've never experimented with the touchdown dance, basically we're picking 3 players that we think are going to score touchdowns. We do have to specify if we want to go for more than 2.5 touchdowns. So meaning they need 3. 3.5 will get you 5x your buy-in. 4.5 will get you 15x your buy-in. So let's try to go with let's meet in the middle here, Bucky, with 5x our buy-in. So we need 4 touchdowns out of 3 players. I naturally want to lean Jones and Cook immediately. What do you think?
Agreed on both.
So what do we do for the third?
That's going to be the conversation that we need to have.
I kind of want to get. For me, it's between Devontae Adams and Adam Thielen. It's kind of an easy choice. I mean, to pick those two, but it's not easy to pick which one scores. I think Devontae Adams is more of a touchdown threat than Thielen. Personally, what are you thinking?
Well, let's think about it this way. We both have Green Bay winning this game. So I'm going to go with Adams over Thielen. I want to get as rudimentary as possible with this analysis, right? This is supposed to turn you into paralysis by analysis because you have all these choices and then you can hedge it based on, how confident you are in it. It's paralysis by analysis. I want to get rudimentary and say, let's get down to basics. Who's winning this game? I'll take 2 Packers, 1 Viking. You have to take one player, at least one player from each team.
Correct.
So obviously, I think Dalvin should get in the end zone. I think between the two of Dalvin and Aaron Jones, that you have 3 touchdowns. We just need that Devontae Adams score here.
Right. And honestly, if we're truly believing that history is going to repeat itself and both these guys are going to get 20 carries apiece, in reality, Dalvin and Jones could score 4 touchdowns between the two of them. In that case, then it doesn't really matter. But I do think Adams finds the end zone as well. I think he's going to have a pretty big game, so I'm on board with that.
I actually like this pick a lot.
Yep, I'm firing it in there now. All right, so then we are going to this is what you come to the channel for the big bucks, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're going to get into a 30x your buy-in. These are my favorite, the long shots. So to get 30x your buy-in, do you want to do Jesus, I got such fat fingers I can't even do this. Ooh, wow, it's 35x. They upped the ante on us on Sunday. Let's go.
Always evolving
Every day. You want to do fantasy points or do you want to do yardage and all that crap?
I like yardage. It keeps it kind of true to form.
All right, so we got to get 6 out of 6 here, and you're going to get 35x your buy-in. So let's start at the end. Aaron Jones, for me, this is easy as hell. I'm going to take more all day. In both his matchups last year, like I said, he went over 100. I know that Vikings defense is good, but volume, baby. Let's go.
Agree with you on that. Over. More.
All right.
More.
What else you got?
I got more for Thielen.
Agreed.
I got less for Dalvin. But that's only because we already invested in him going pretty high here.
True.
I like to flip the script on these big odds. I could also see Dalvin ripping off 75 yards receiving here. So
this is fair. I'm gonna go less on both QBs. Do you have any big argument for me?
It makes me nervous, but we're going for the big bucks. And if we want a slugfest, we got a slugfest.
All right, fair enough. What do you think about Adams though? 90.5 is a pretty high total.
Yeah, I'm going less.
All right.
If you can't tell, for the viewers out there, I'm a big less guy. I'm less than the less man.
I mean, I think it's a smart play. Like, I blew $50 on Thursday Night Football. Like, I goosed my account pretty much because I was just like so jacked up for football and just like slamming the more button on everything. Doesn't work.
On Houston?
Well, yeah. Actually, I had a 4 out of 4. And I had all 4 of them going in on a rapid fire. And then Deshaun Watson in garbage time there. I think he had a rushing touchdown at the end. And I had Patty Mahomes like minus 4.5 fantasy points against him. And that's why I lost.
Yep. Makes sense. You got snake bit.
Yep. Sure did. That just sucks. Man, the only thing I'm hesitant about on this, I really like this play.
The Dalvin.
It's the Dalvin, dude. If we're going to go less on Devontae, I think we should go more on Dalvin.
Okay. I won't argue with you at all. I can see this game. That's why it's a game, right? And we're just kind of like, all right, let's roll with this. What are you doing there? $2?
Well, I was going to do 5 to 175 is so nice, but like there's so many games I want to play and I've only got 46 left in the account here. So I feel like I should just do 2. I should be smart, Buck.
Yep. 2 to win what? 70?
2 to win 70 is like unbelievable odds.
It's great. It's better than playing a $2 scratch off.
Right? Absolutely. At least you got odds there. But
yeah.
All right, so there's your sample for the Vikings-Packers game for Week 1. It's a great rivalry. I enjoy it. I've been in the Midwest the last 8 years until recently, so that's a game that people love there in the Midwest, and I'm excited to watch it. So hopefully there's a lot of rushing yards. Any additional thoughts on that, Bucky?
Just get me to Sunday.
Get me to Sunday. Let's go. Join us in the next episode here. I'm not sure which game we're going to be breaking down, but we're going to try to do them all today on Saturday. So first time coming across the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you've never played on Monkey Knife Fight before, when you make your first deposit, use code FOCUSED or click the link in the description of this video and you will get a 100% match bonus. So get yourself $50 for free. Good luck in Week 1 and look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday morning for our live show. Talk to you soon.
See you.